interview has concluded. And no, this is what we're not going to do. I'm not going to do the work for you. You find out what I bring to the table.
And the reason why I like how you said that is because in the original episode that we did about child support, I was basically, I always, now, let me stop lying. Now I look at my part and what went wrong.
Right.
So in the first episode of the child support, I was saying, we understand that there are some petty women. We get that.
Oh, absolutely.
But with that being said, as a man, you're supposed to do your job. So like you're saying, men, if you do your job and you build this table, then whatever woman you go to present the table to, you would automatically know if she know what to put on the table or if she just eating at the table on paper plates.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Here we go. Like I said, what the table made out of? Because it could even be, a sheet on the floor. Okay, we building. We gonna build it together. I'm down for that. I am down for that. Trust me. Like, but don't give me, a $10,000 granite table and the basis lies, deceit, and betrayal. Yes. Like, don't do that and be like, what you bringing to it? Like, well, why did you bring me this? I don't care how much it costs. Like, it's built on lies. Like, I don't care.
and that is so true. I mean, and it also touches on, once you bring the wrong table,
yes,
you get the wrong woman.
Exactly. So so please, let's not have that conversation because let's have it, but come on, you gotta know your part too. So don't ask me what I bring to the table. I gotta know what you bring too. What kind of table is it? I need to know before I can even answer that question.
And fellas, y'all heard that not from me, but straight from the female's perspective.
I gotta know, and like I said, I'm willing. We could be. There's no table here. Oh, we gonna build one together? Cool. I'm cool for that. Where are the tools? Where are the tools?
So moving forward, how is the relationship with your daughters with their dad?
It definitely is a lot to be desired there. Okay. So number one, he really cannot, even to this day, our children are 15 and 14. Even to this day, he cannot separate me from them. Wow. So a lot of, like I said, he's still dealing with the hurt of our relationship disintegrating. He had mentioned one time that he would like for us to be friends, but I can't be friends with you. I don't like how you treat my kids.
Facts.
I'm looking at you like you're a stranger on the street. No. He's not there. Okay. He's not. I'm gonna be honest with you. But like I said, I have the luxury, my brothers, I got uncles, I got cousins, and it's sad, I even was dating this one guy, we just recently reconnected, and I just love the way that my kids talk about this guy. He is so, he's awesome. I'm not even gonna lie. I remember one time I was fussing with my children's father about child support, and I was just like, yo, where the money at? I'm zapping out, and he was there, and he was like, hang up the phone. He was like, just hang it up. And he was like, what do the girls need? What do they need? I was like, well, they need this, and this. And he was like, they'll have it by the end of the day. Exactly. And I'm like, but he was like, nah. He said, we're not doing that. He was like, we're not doing that. We're not worried about what he should do.
So he's bringing that marble table with a marble base.
Right, exactly. He's like, we're not worried about what he should do. Mm-hmm. He's like, I'm gonna do this. He said, do me a favor. Don't ask him for nothing else. Say less, King.
I gotta step my hand game up.
Listen, say less, King.
and that's a good point. A real man will take care of kids that's not his own.
Yes.
Because that's what I feel a man's supposed to do.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the one who control the house. And not control, you do this, but they're supposed to control the flow of the house.
Definitely. And believe it or not, I am a traditionalist. I do not want to be a strong, independent black woman.
So you don't want to be
I am soft. I am fragile. Handle me with care, please. Please.
You're the Fabergé egg of
yes, please. Trust me. I'm not one of them women here. I'm tired. Mm-hmm. I want a man to be like, I got you. Cool. What you want for dinner? so I can put it on the table that you brought me.
And it's sad. You said something that I think is and I don't know about like neighbors, and I don't know, but I think that's so prevalent with the black community is that women. You said it. You are tired.
I'm tired.
You're tired because, unfortunately, somebody has not taken a look. You've had to bear the load of everything.
Yes.
Emotionally, physically, financial.
Yes.
So when men don't play a role when they're woman, you are actually hurting the other side of the fence. You're now creating a woman who's either angry and go out and tear up other men, or you deal with you break a woman down where she ends up smoking crack on the corner.
Yeah, and then it's like the next guy got to do extra work to prove that he's not who she was dealing with before, which is why I'm telling y'all, like, the dude that I, like him, oh my goodness, he was awesome. Like, one time my daughter got sick. She was sick for 2 months.
Wow.
And I was just in and out the hospital with her. I wasn't even really able to take care of, like, my house and my other daughter. When I tell you that man stepped up, he paid all my bills while my daughter was sick. Wow. I came home to a clean house. And let me tell you, baby, like, he cleaned that house better than me. He cleaned that house better than me. Like, that, like that right there, yes. That was like, that man can bring me any type of table.
Which means he had a good foundation to start with. He had an example of how a relationship, how a house, how a man, which is another thing I touch about in a lot of our videos, is that men, again, duplicate what they're taught. You know, and it's sad because a lot of men, even going to the episode I did before this, he talked about how he went to therapy. And how, because of therapy, he was able to realize his pattern and change it. So I think as men, once we realize where issues come from, it's now no longer, it's not an option. You have to find out how to fix it or stay or hit. And I think that's such a taboo that men or just the black community say, oh, I'm not going to no therapist. I'm supposed to do. No. Get some help. You know, so now here's a bigger question. Are there any side effects with your daughters from not having a relationship with them, with the father, and how do you deal with it?
So here's the thing. I make it a point to not talk bad about their father in front of them.
That's what my mother said.
I really do. And here's why. I want them to develop their own relationship. I want them to have their own ideas. I don't want them to be tainted by anything that he has done to me. So I cannot, so things that he does that are toxic, and so when he does have them, like, he'll pick them up for Christmas and take them Christmas shopping. He'll do things like that. And, you know, like, maybe I'll come up and they'll tell me, like, you know, Dad said this about you, Dad said that. Like, he's talking about me bad. And my whole thing is, I be defending him. I be like your father's hurt. You know what I mean? Like, I be doing that. Like, I'm like, it's okay. Like, and
still playing the emotional barrier.
Yeah, right. I just be like, it's okay. Like, don't hold that against him. I was like, you know, you barely see him as is. Don't hold that against them. And they be, my youngest daughter's like, I'll defend you. And I said, that's not your job. I said, your father shouldn't even be talking about me to y'all. So their relationship is very interesting. He wants them to he wants to have a better relationship with them, but he doesn't know how to cultivate it. So they'll call him and be like, can we have some money? He'd be like, oh, you don't care how I'm feeling? And I told him, and I was like, you want them to call you just to say hi or whatever, you have to do that with them. Like, yeah, you have to reciprocate that. Like, that's, the onus is on you. That's not, I mean, even though I'm like, y'all talk to your father, no, and I'm like, okay, like, you want to call him? No, oh, all right. Like, I'm not going to, right, I'm not going to force them. And my children have had phones since they were like, I want to say like 7 and 8.
Wow. For
the explicit reason, because I did not want that man to call me and be like, I was, you know, keeping his kids away from him, because, you know, that every story needs a villain. I'm a villain in his.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh no, like, he can never, no, he got that number. He don't gotta call me. Like, we don't have to speak until unless it's birthdays and graduations, and as they get older, weddings. Other than that, like, we don't really have a lot to talk about. But he's he's definitely like butthurt, and his relationship with them is like is tainted. Like he can't get over. Like I'm the one that got away as far as he's concerned.
Okay.
So I don't even know if he know that, but that's how he acting. That's how he acting. Like I'm the one that got away because he didn't have plenty of girlfriends and lovers and relationships, but he's still holding on to whatever it is he's holding on with me, and they just be like, even now, I was asking him. I was like, "Have you talked to your father? Like Christmas is coming." Like, yeah. Well, I sent them my Christmas list, but that's it. I'm like, that's it? Like, y'all ain't say nothing else? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
at that point, the damage is already done.
Yeah, it's up to him to fix that. I just try my best not to impede. Okay. I don't, and I like, even they were asking me about they were asking me questions about our relationship, how, because they technically, my oldest one was born when we were kind of still together, but my youngest one, and that should tell you something, I left him when I was 8 months pregnant with my youngest one. Jeez. Yeah, so that lets you know, that lets you know everything you need to know. I left him at 8 months pregnant. I left him at 8 months pregnant at 4 a.m, okay? So she's never really they've never seen us get along.
Okay.
Even though my youngest was born, she was too young. She don't remember. Mm-hmm. So they ask questions, and I am very careful about how I phrase things to them. Mm-hmm. I don't like. Again, I'm trying not to taint how they see their father. I want them to draw their own conclusions. If they come up with the same conclusions that I have, then okay. Like, well, now we on one accord. But I don't want to be the one that's like, your father ain't it, and then I don't want to do that. Number one, because I had 2 kids with him, so at some point I didn't think that, and I'm not saying that about my kids.
Exactly.
So, and I don't want them to think that that's how I think of them.
Exactly. I want to say this: there is some hope in them building, because when my mother divorced my father, I don't remember how old I was, but I know I don't remember them together. Mm-hmm. And for a while, we didn't have, me or my sister had a relationship with my dad. Okay. But as we got older and realized, well, Dad got some issues, we once pushed the issue and started reaching out to him. And up until the end, we had a very good relationship. Even to the point where my mother married my stepfather. My stepfather bought him, my biological father, the suit that he wore to my sister's graduation for her bachelor's degree. Because my stepfather was the type of man, that's that man kids. I want my stepdaughter experiencing her graduation to be wonderful. I don't want him showing up in raggedy clothes. So there is hope that your daughters will end up with a relationship with their father, because how you're painting him, like, hey, Dad got some issues, but he was a good dude. They'll at some point want to reach out to him. Now again, like you said, it's up to him to accept the offer. Right. But I think they will, because my mother never talked about my father. I know I did some things, or I have an addiction to gambling. It explains why my mother never had cards in the house. My father was addicted to gambling. His thing was cards. So as I got older, I realized, okay, so I think they will build a relationship with Dad.
I hope that they do. And believe it or not, I pray for him. I do. I pray for him. I be like, God, you extra healing, yes, extra, like sprinkle. Just top them off, God.
Sprinkle the magic dust on it.
Yeah, like please.
Wow, I'm also glad that you do have a positive male outside of your family, because family does help fill in the gap. Oh yes. But to see a positive man, it gives your daughters an opportunity to see how a man is supposed to treat his woman.
I totally agree with you with that, and I like that for me, but I like that, like you said, like they get to see that, and they ask, questions about, like me and him, and even like, because we were together